If it was legal, they would kill you.
He must be a Scientologist or ex-Scientologist.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt.
Okay.
My former religion was more of a cult than a faith.
Let's see how many step forward.
What separates, I think, a cult from a faith is the amount of control that they exercise in the individual lives of the members. So it's fog, fear, obligation, and guilt. At the end of the day, they owned our thoughts, they owned our feelings. It wasn't a faith that we could just have and express in our own way. It was all dictated to us as to how we had to express it. And if we fell short of that, then there was a lot of shame.
And I don't care if you see this, bro. I don't care. Because the truth is the truth, right? Shorty couldn't do anything without feeling judged or without feeling like she'll get excommunicated. Especially with me, a non-Jehovah Witness, like that was like really bad. And these people aren't right. If they judge you for making a decision or excommunicate you for whatever you do, it's not right, bro. So they can control your thoughts, control everything. And it's like they got hidden stuff too. I would tell her all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like they got things they don't show in the public. They got things behind closed doors, beat on their wife. You know, there's divorced people in your congregation going on, and it's all about controlling your mind and how you think and your emotions and all that.
When my parents became Jehovah's Witnesses, and I was 38 when I finally got out, it was a really, really tough path, and a lot of it was the mental and emotional abuse of that control that eventually led me to find my way out.
Kind of like, I think, the 3 elder interviews that you all
The
have.
judicial committees,
So I was going to say, it's like there are a lot of parallels as it goes, and I think that the interesting thing is that this is a more covert version. So we have all of our similar versions of things that you're describing. Typically, Jehovah's Witnesses are known as the group that has the least amount of money. Like they are the lowest income big religion that there is.
Okay.
And that's because they're more seeking out vulnerable people. We were trying to reach people while they're grieving at a grave site and bring them in. Like we were trying to find people at their lowest points and bring them in with us.
That's
How
very
you were
interesting.
saying that Jehovah's Witnesses go after vulnerable people. Scientology has a saying that we make the able more able. So they actually don't want you unless you already are able, which means you can write a check to them.
I think another cult element is you can be shunned.
When shunned, members lose their families, their friends, and their entire social network, usually without anything outside of your congregation to fall back on. This level of cumulative shunning has been shown to generate great psychological distress. And it's crazy because it's close friends and it's family, flesh and blood, parents, like will disown you, dissociate with you because of something they just don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that the thing is particularly wrong, but they just don't agree with it. So it's not with their thing. You're not a Jehovah's Witness. You're not. So they can care less how you feel about it. They strongly believe that.
Expected to come, sit in the meeting group, not say hello to anyone, leave, not say goodbye to anyone, and you're supposed to come and do that for a year while no one looks at you, no one talks to you, not even your friends and family.
So you can't talk to your family during that time?
If you live at home and you're a minor, you can talk to your family.
But they probably don't treat you the
Limitedly,
same
but
way.
not about spiritual
They're
things.
still, yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
You still can't eat with their family as kids who are shunned by
That is
their own
crazy.
family. So I've interviewed people who had like refrigerators, little mini fridges, put in their room where they could eat out of so that they didn't have to, cross-contaminate the rest of the house with
But
their
it's only for a
presence.
year, right? No big deal.
Well,
As long as you're doing everything to come back.
during that year, you're expected to submit letters to that body of elders begging to be reinstated. And
Who are
that
these
they're
elders, bro?
almost never going to accept your initial letters. So that process is about breaking you.
It's like
it is about
shame.
you
Are these
being
elders
wrong
without sin? Are they?
to come back so that you won't leave again, right? Or you won't
Not one
repeat
person
that
is.
sin, whatever it is. And we may not have had your forced labor as far as, I would say we didn't have forced labor, we had coerced labor. And it was the field ministry that we all were made to do, going door to door all the time, building kingdom halls. There's so much free labor that organization profits from in the end, financially. And then most of us, if we had any kind of desire to attain any kind of further education, I had scholarships to engineering school and such. I turned them down because I was shamed and told that I had to go knock on doors for 90 hours a month.
Mom was raised completely in Scientology. So as a child, I was taught by her. And I didn't leave until I had my son, because he came to the ages, like, I was interrogated. There's something called the Children's Security Check. It's a 99-question interrogation where you hold on to an e-meter. It's like an electrical device. It puts a little current through your body. It has a readout. And it is everything. If you say, oh, I didn't do it, but it says you did it, you did it. And you might have not even done it in this lifetime. You might have done it in another lifetime. You might have done whatever the crime is 1 billion years ago. And I'm curious, did Jehovah's Witness have a past life thing? Do you guys believe, do they believe in reincarnation?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah, they pretty much teach that you're just a worthless human being.
Okay.
From dirt you are, to dirt you return. You're just here to live out your life until Armageddon comes.
Okay.
So we were a doomsday cult, through and through.
It would tell me, like, once I've sinned, it's over. I'm going to hell. She would always say, I'm going to hell, I'm going to hell. I'm like, bro, you have time to be forgiven for your sins. What do you mean you're just going to hell?
Like, as a child, a storm would come, and I'm like, it's happening, I'm not ready, I'm gonna get destroyed.
Yeah.
So we were very physically, like, scared of a doomsday coming.
One thing that has always stood out to me, the more I learned about psychology and going to a lot of therapy, is narcissism. That is the backbone. There's always some rich old dude who's a nutbag narcissist.
Jehovah Witness, the religion, the actual practice of being a Jehovah Witness is only like, I can't remember. I think it's only like between 70 and 100 years old. 120, I'll give 120. Like, how long we been on this planet? And that's what you want to follow? Something that's only been around for 70 to 120. What about the people before that?
The phrase that I like is the difference between a religion and a cult is what happens when you try to leave.
Yeah.
For me, it was very severe, harsh shunning, cut off in one day.
Everybody cut you off.
Because it happened to me in one day. The information control that Jehovah's Witnesses have is very severe, very strict, of course. I had never researched my religion at all. I had never researched it on the internet a single time. And when I finally got the courage to do that and look into a lot of things, it was days on end of research all in one. And I went, okay, this is unacceptable. I have to do something. I have children. I can't be a part of this. I told my parents. They removed me from the family group chat. They sent out a mass text to all of my friends and family that said, she's an apostate, don't speak with her. So even if I wanted to say goodbye to anybody, they wouldn't have answered. I knew not to even try.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that the people who are shunning, do they believe that they're doing it like for your spiritual good?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a loving thing.
Yeah,
Totally.
okay.
Yeah.
We're all shunned here, right?
Yes.
Everybody, yeah.
So,
We're declared suppressive
Yeah,
people.
we're
Okay.
Disconnected.
So
Different
our
same thing.
apostate is your suppressive person.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
But Scientology goes one step further. It's not just disconnection. If you speak out against Scientology, you become a target, and they will then go after you with a policy called fair game.
Okay.
So when I was
And
doing
many
my
of us
research-
here have been subjected to fair game. It's an ongoing campaign of targeted harassment. They will try and destroy your life in any way they possibly can.
It's its own legal affairs, public relations, and dirty tricks division. And they are the ones who take care of what's called fair gaming, which is where you are declared fair game by the church. They can do anything to you, and they will. They'll go through your trash, they'll stalk you, they'll call your neighbors, they'll tell them that you're under investigation for criminal activity, they will call your job, they will call your family. And there's a whole division of the church that literally doesn't have anything else to do all day except this activity.
The policy says maybe tricked, sued, lied to, or destroyed. And destroyed is the key word. If it was legal, they would kill you.
It's like we have similar, like the mass texts that don't talk to this person, cutting them off, cutting them, like people get fired when they're working for other Jehovah's Witnesses. They lose their families. Sometimes, like my little brother came out gay. They kicked him out of the house when he was 16. He was sleeping by dumpsters.
I mean,
there's a difference is where they attack them psychologically, but they go way further on your guys' side to like literally destroy their lives. Yeah.
And they have millions of dollars with which to do it.
Yeah. My former religion cost me relationships I still mourn today.
I haven't talked to my mom in 8 years. And it's because I don't want children to be abused, and I don't want that to happen in our family anymore. Your grandson graduated high school. He got into college. Aren't you excited? I can't do that because that's somehow evil. I did not think I was gonna cry today, guys. So that's my answer. And I miss her very much.
When I left,
you better not start crying too, bro.
My mom didn't talk to me for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Didn't know anything else. I grew up in it, so I had zero. You know, I woke up when I was 27 and a half. Go down the rabbit hole, and the Matrix pill is swallowed, and you can see everything.
All you gotta do is do your own research. That's all.
And your own family won't even talk to you. Your friends and family.
Really, I looked it up for
it's a psychological
one night, and I was like, bro, this is
torture tactic to do all of that to people. It's meant to torture people. You know, if you take a puppy and throw it outside during winter in a storm, it's going to come crawling back. That's the whole thing. And they get off on seeing you crawl back. Highly traumatized, and they were holding on to this belief system for dear life because they had nothing else.
That's the thing.
Because almost every kid is touched, almost every kid is abused, almost every kid is manipulated and made into this codependent, deeply hurt person.
It's crazy. Nah, I can't even say what I want to say, bro. It's just sad, like, because what he's saying.
And because you're taught from the beginning to really only have association within the organization, you have no outside community.
Yes.
I really don't have anyone in my life that I've known longer than 3 years at this point. I've lost all my childhood friends, all my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, my siblings, my parents. I have minor interactions with them over like family business, but literally overnight, 60 of your closest friends and family like literally no longer talk to you. And I sent a text message saying goodbye to my cousins who I grew up with as siblings kind of, and couldn't get any response back and my aunt told my mother if she would have sent the message one day earlier prior to her being announced, we would have replied.
Wow.
It's sad, like, because you be trying to like care for people, know they in like a situation like this, and they don't allow you to help them because they just see things one way. Their whole life they seen things one way. You know, like me, I was told if nothing else, if I didn't learn nothing else, bro, to question everything, to do my own research, to look up everything. Don't agree with everything, and it's messed up when you try to help somebody that has one way of thinking. You try to help them think outside the box, and they refuse to do it because you can't teach an old dog new tricks. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
Parents, I didn't lose my parents when I was 38 and I was shunned. I lost them when I was 8 years old and they lost themselves in this cult. And I never knew them, and they don't know them. I can't have fake people in my life anymore.
Facts.
And I can't have conditional relationships. And to be honest, the conditional relationship I had to lose was the conditional relationship with myself. And so, you know, I had conversations with her as I was getting ready to leave this thing. And at some point she was like, "Oh, sweetie, I don't believe all of it." And I was like, "What the hell? You told me I had to believe all of it. You set me up for this thing." So the only way I want anything to do with any of them, because they're not good for me, and if my phone rang and their name was on there right now, my stomach would sink.
My former religion protects abusers.
And the solution in that moment, Scientology decides that it would be bad for our family to send the abuser to jail, because in jail or prison they will not be rehabilitated. So instead, they internally handle it.
It's actually where most people get rehabilitated, honestly. Don't change something, you don't look for God in there, then you deserve to spend a little more time in there. Like, spend a little more time. But other than that, you should be trying to get your life together. planning to get out.
Financial crimes and crimes against elderly and crimes against children are the kind of shit that is actually going to make it so Scientology loses tax exemption.
Yeah.
So they will cover it up because that is their cash cow. If they lose tax exemption, they're going to sink.
Exactly.
It would probably be the same for JWs.
You all have that two-witness rule.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, their rule is that if there aren't two witnesses, child abuse or something else, then they will just kind of say, well,
it didn't happen.
And they'll say, I don't believe in all the stuff they did. Then why be in it, bro?
Most of
why
the
be in a
most horrible
situation you
things
don't
that
agree with
happen
everything
between
they
two
do?
Exactly.
people, and there are no
It
witnesses.
almost never
Otherwise-
happens that there are two witnesses.
Exactly.
So they also don't have a procedure to call the police if a crime is reported to them. They don't call themselves mandatory reporters. So they, you know, if elders if they hear, when they hear of these cases, they take personal notes. Like every Jehovah's Witness has files on them that are like every sin you've ever committed or whatever. But they're not necessarily going to do anything with that information. They're just going to hold on to it. So there's no accountability for them.
Put a
Scramble.
Yeah, well, Watchtower is told basically you can't destroy anything, right? But we all know they did. I mean,
Right.
It's easy to shred things, right? And so if I shred it, it never happened. Of course, it never happened to them anyway, because it's all about keeping up appearances and not bringing reproach upon Jehovah's name.
Right.
So they've got to make Jehovah look good. Jehovah's Witnesses must have a clean reputation at all costs, and that cost is often children. And they're okay
one
with
person without
It was
sin,
one of
bro.
the final
All these
nails for me when I
elders,
left the organization, was
ain't not
learning
one,
about
bro.
the practice.
from Jehovah's Witnesses or Scientology. But the fact is that they're not only not protecting the kids in these organizations, but these are predators.
Yeah.
And they're in your communities. And in our case, they might have been knocking on your doors. I don't know about yours, but you know, in any case, they're out there in the community, and just like our kids weren't safe, neither are any of yours.
My former religion had some good intentions. I would say, like, if you're stepping
feel like most
forward,
people
then
have
that
good
means that you
intentions.
think it had more good intentions than not.
Okay, bye.
But it's okay if you're alone.
I know. I'm undecided.
I know, I'm kind of
I'll
undecided
sit here.
too.
I'll do it. I got it. Can I start with a quote I like? One does not have to act with great malice in order to do great harm. And I think that Jehovah's Witnesses think they're saving the world. When my mom became one when I was 8 years old, she was looking for something. She had always been searching for the truth. And I've interviewed a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, and you see a lot of times it's a mom who has some kids. She wants them to have structure in religion. She wants them to have something good. It's a group of misfits and people that were struggling in life, that have come into something that they thought was going to better their life. Now, I know of absolutely horrendous things that go on behind the scenes. Even in those cases, and as much as I hate to say it, those parents thought they were doing the right thing. They were doing it in a messed up way. I'm not gonna sit here and say they're good people or something like that, but their intentions, they think, as misguided as it is, that I am saving my kid by putting them in this thing and by treating them in the way that controls them, so that eventually we can all be happy in a paradise. They think they're doing something good. I know I did. I thought that I was doing something good. And I was not always a very good person in that organization either. I was kind of a jerk.
By A24 Midsummer.
Parts of it.
You gotta watch it. It's, that's not a horror movie, that's a documentary. And it's a highly traumatic beginning. Like she loses her parents, and this cult comes in and just naps her. From beginning to end, you see her turn into very narcissistic by the end. And it's very traumatizing, so just a heads up, like, there's some fucked up shit in there. But that's exactly what it's like. And, you know, that Florence Pugh character, that was my mother.
Seen that movie.
Right. She came from an abusive, traumatic household, and they found her at a very young age when she was pregnant with me. So I was born in. These narcissistic leaders and people are looking in binoculars for people to snipe, to go after.
This makes sense because I'm gonna just say it, bro. I don't care, bro. Like I said, if you see this, you see this, bro. I think this person thought I was this type of person. Like, I needed help. I was vulnerable because, you know, just got out of prison. I shared a lot of things with this person in my life, you know what I'm saying? And she would tell me, like, yeah, I think that you have so much potential, like, you know, you just have some, like, untapped potential, or I see so much good in you, and I see your heart, and, you know, so I think this person thought I was really vulnerable, you know, not knowing, like, I'm really believing this book, no matter how I portray myself or what I do. Like, this means more than any of that stuff, like, has ever happened in my life. So, like, but after prison, I found happiness and joy in everything, bro. Like, because I found this word, like, and read through it a couple times, like, front to back. You know what I'm saying? And, like, he showed me a new way of thinking, a new way of being. So, like, I wasn't vulnerable. I shared my story with you, shared my past with you, but I wasn't vulnerable. Appreciation and, you know, and trust in him that he'll guide me to where I need to be. So I can see what he's saying right now. Like, that's how they get you. They think you this way. They try to pick at you and, you know, pull you in. Like, I ain't going.
I don't think anything about these people at the top are good. You know, the rank and file, they have best intentions, but they're also taught to be evil, to be manipulative,
Yes.
to be nasty, cover things up. So that way all of our hands are covered in, like, blood.
Right.
And, you know, when I left the organization, I ended up finding out all the elders had either raped kids, committed fraud, there was cover-ups for murder, they would cover up kids who took their lives when they got kicked out. And I knew these people, I grew up with them. And like 8 to 9 times out of 10, the people at the top were just super fucking evil. And I can't do that. I can't be a part of that, I can't support it, I can call it out. And that's why I didn't step forward. It's like, they're all evil.
Sexual shame still affects me today.
Man, the Jehovah's Witnesses are all about sexual shame. Like they're a sex-obsessed cult. They talk about it all the time, from the moment you join or pop out of your family. It's all about shame, guilt, control, and they leave you highly ignorant about it. So when any diddling happens, like, the kids don't know what's going on, and they can hide it. But when you're hitting puberty, and then if you do, you have to tell them, and they ask way too many personal questions in those elder meetings of, like, what did you do? Did you like it? Was it this porn? Was it that porn? Was it? And then, especially with girls, they get super creepy with girls.
I mean, the level of graphic that they get into, especially when you are a young woman sitting in front of 3 60-plus men, like alone
without your parents.
Without your parents, and they'll ask incredibly detailed questions about who touched who, how long, if you orgasmed, like, very, very detailed.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
What did you do?
Yeah.
And this whole time they're trying to gauge how repentant you are about it too, but you're
and
also,
how
like,
culpable you were in the action, and so even
whose fault it is that it happened.
Even women who have experienced sexual assault get taken through the same process.
And most of those elders are abusers themselves. Most of them have molested kids and people in the congregation.
At the very minimum, they're completely unqualified to hold a conversation like that, especially coming out as gay on top of it. Like, the messaging throughout the entire organization, I mean, 39 years essentially of indoctrination about what a gross sin that is, and, like, the level.
It is.
And
You look at why everyone is disfellowshipped or kicked out, it's almost always sexual sins, right? Because if they can control a natural biological urge and need for most folks, then what can't they control? And so that's where all the focus usually is. I mean, how many cults are sex obsessed, and the leader tells everyone who they can have sex with or who they can't, or he has sex with everybody? You know, I mean, like, isn't that what they all do?
I would never let my child join the religion I left.
That's right.
One of the first things that I ever had doubts about was when I started thinking about my children as they started to get a little bit older. I have an 8, a 7, and a 3-year-old. And when I first was thinking that if I ever get remarried, I'm gonna be shunned, I had that realization, and I went, there's no planet that I would ever do anything remotely close to this to my children. And the only thing that I did tell my dad when we had a final conversation when I was being shunned was I would never do this to my own children.
So my mom, she went through a lot of abuse too. She didn't want to ever see that happen to me, but it did. And she still stayed in, and that was a huge, that rocks your world. And when I do have kids, I have a plan, at least for right now, and it seems to work with my therapist, is I'm gonna take them to the Jehovah's Witness church. They're gonna be by my side. They're gonna go to some meetings. I'm gonna take them to Buddhism. I'm gonna take them to an atheist rally. I'm gonna take them to a pride rally. I'm gonna take them to a magazine, whatever, the opposite. I want them to see everything and raise their emotional intelligence extremely high, because that's what is very low in these organizations. They want us dumb. And let my kids be educated and know how to.
See, bro don't believe in nothing, so I mean, don't even, that's something you can't do. You can't show him anything because you don't believe in nothing. You can't show him that part of life. You don't believe in anything. You just out here. You need to leave that alone. Let them figure it out on their own, if that's the case. Because now you can tell them the question thing. You can tell them, oh, if you want to go look at that, go ahead. I wouldn't sit in these places with them, like, because you're just confusing your child even more, bro. Like, don't do that. Let me say one more thing, too. You're going to see this video, and you're going to think this is a shot at you or directed at you, and it's not. This is directed at the religion that is holding you hostage from living the life you want. And you can still believe in this book. You don't need the religion. You don't need the elders. You don't need none of these people. These people don't call you. These people don't communicate with you. These people don't go share a weekend with you, share a trip with you. They don't do none of that. But you think so much of what they have to say. So, like I said, if you want to take it as a shot at you, whoever you are, go ahead, but this ain't that. Shit. God told me that this video came up. Look, I mean, this video came up. Perfect timing, really. You know what I'm saying? So, I said I'm going to wrap it up like there, man. It's your boy Esco. I learned something today. For sure.